And welcome to the Miami Beach Bowl on ESPN as a part of Capital One Bowl Mania, a site that has so much football history. This is the old home of the Miami Orange Bowl, where there have been so many great college football memories. We're inside the big league ballpark, the home of the Miami Marlins, here today for the first ever Miami Beach Bowl, and it's BYU and Memphis, our matchup this afternoon. Hi, everybody. Dave Fleming alongside Danny Cannell. Allison Williams with us as well. It's a little windswept high above Marlins Park, but a great setting with downtown Miami just behind us. The beach only a few miles away. Everybody excited for this game. Interesting matchup, Danny. BYU, a team that may be more than any other in the country, so tied to one player. And when Taysom Hill went down, their star quarterback, the season changed. But give the Cougars credit for getting to 8-4 and getting here.
Yeah, coming into the season, we saw them week 1 versus UConn, and I thought they had a chance to run the table, and Taysom Hill had a chance to win the Heisman, but the season derailed when he went down with a leg injury. But in steps Christian Stewart, and immediately off the bat, it was a rough go. They lost 4 games in a row, and of course the quarterback's going to take a lot of that blame. He had to face a ton of adversity, but he responded as of late. He's been playing outstanding lately, coming off his best game against Cal. He threw for 5 touchdowns. He, again, much like Taysom Hill was, is the centerpiece of this offense.
So that's the story for BYU. Meanwhile, for Memphis, you could make a case that 4 years ago there was no program in the country in worse shape than the Tigers. Justin Fuente comes in year 3, a chance for a 10-win season, their first conference title in 43 years.
And the reason for their turnaround is the defense. This is one of the best front sevens in college football. Nobody talks about them because they don't play in a Power 5 conference. They only allow 17 points a game, in large part because of that guy right there, Tank Jakes. He is an absolute stud out there. He's got 15.5 tackles for a loss. He flies around the football field. And they're going to have their hands full going against the high-paced BYU offense. Should be a fun matchup.
As we're playing the game, you see the Marlins Park, the home of the Major League Baseball Miami Marlins. Some idiosyncrasies in this baseball facility. For more on how it fits with football, let's welcome in Allison Williams.
Yes, Dave, it can be a bit of a snug fit trying to fit a football field inside of a ballpark. You can see there's 8 feet from the back of the end zone to this outfield wall. Plenty high. Players can run into it. Not much of a problem. All week, BYU has actually been talking about end zone awareness because of where they practice down the road at FIU. They will want to use that awareness in the north end zone where the wall is lower. And just like in baseball, there's potential to flip over that wall. I talked to some Memphis wide receivers. They didn't seem too concerned, but did admit they might have to hit the brakes a little sooner and utilize the front of the end zone more.
All right, thanks, Allison. So I don't know, that could be a factor here. We see that there have been bowl games played at the home of the Giants in San Francisco, other baseball venues over in St. Pete with the St. Petersburg Bowl in the past. And it is a little unusual for the players, Danny, but it also, I think, makes these games, there's something a little special about playing in a different venue.
Yeah, and much like you see the outfielders doing in baseball when they go to new parks, you'll see the receivers out there before the game today catching a few balls, kind of testing it out, seeing where they are. But it's going to be a challenge, I think, for the play callers when they get down in the red zone to sort of be aware of where their receivers are going to have to deal with.
Well, Memphis excited to be here. They have not played in a bowl game since 2008, which means not a single player on this Memphis roster has played in a bowl game before this afternoon. And they kick off a booming one into the end zone for a touchback. So the Cougars will come out on offense. It's been a wild year for BYU. Huge expectations at the start of the year. They were thinking undefeated. They were thinking college football playoff, and they started off 4-0. But Taysom Hill goes down against Utah State. The Cougars lose that game, part of a 4-game losing streak for BYU. But rebounding, as Danny talked about a minute ago, Christian Stewart really picked up his game, win their last 4 games. So the Cougars finished the regular season 8-4, and here they are in the first ever Miami Beach Bowl with number 7, Christian Stewart, in the shotgun on the first play of the game. Immediately pressured by that excellent front 7 of Memphis, Stewart finds a way to get a few yards.
Yeah, and that's what the story of this game is going to be. The front 7 for Memphis versus an offensive line that's given up 34 sacks on the season for BYU. Can they pressure Christian Stewart?
Second down. Both teams like to use tempo on offense. Stewart looking to throw for the second straight play, and he's got his completion to the far side. That is Mitch Matthews for a BYU first down.
One of his favorite targets. He's the leading receiver on the team. They've got a slew of guys they like to rotate through because of the pace they go with. They want fresh legs on the field, so they'll go 4, 5, 6 plays with one group and then rotate them all.
A handoff, and the ball's on the ground. Memphis has the fumble recovery. And I don't know what happened there with Paul Lasike. BYU has suffered injuries in the backfield, and maybe it cost him there as Memphis comes up with the early turnover.
Yeah, it was just looked like a miscommunication. Well, nope, there was a defender from Memphis got a hand on the ball. Andrew Gaines is able to drop on it. You see right there the defender coming in, number 34 for Memphis, got that right hand. Jackson Dillon, the linebacker, just enough of that ball on the CK to put it on the ground. And this is going to be a story of the game too, the turnovers, because Memphis does an outstanding job. They control the ball on offense and they turn the ball over defensively.
And they are so good, maybe the best team in the country with changing field position. On a fly sweep, first play on offense for the Tigers. That is Sam Kraft with the carry for a couple of yards. And we talked about Christian Stewart. How about Paxton Lynch, the sophomore quarterback for Memphis?
Yeah, he's really come on late. 0 interceptions his last 6 games. And this is a team that started off 3-3 and then came on stronger.
Play fake, and Lynch looking to throw deep toward the end zone, and incomplete. There was some contact, and Kewan Malone was looking for a penalty flag, but no flag thrown.
I like the play call, though, to take a shot down the field off the turnover. Good time for it. Now, if he leads that throw across the field a little bit, you give Malone a chance to run under it. But you see, obviously, Paxton Lynch making the case for a pass interference call. There was some contact, but a better throw would have had a touchdown as well.
Rob Daniel with the coverage. BYU's a little beat up at defensive back today coming into this game, so that could be another factor. Lynch from the shotgun on 3rd and long. After the turnover, he throws. He's got his man open, and it's a Memphis touchdown. Kewan Malone. And the Tigers in a bowl game for the first time in years, off to a great start. "33 yards from Paxton Lynch to Kewan Malone."
Well, that's about as easy as it gets, too. A 3rd and 8, just throwing a fade route down the sideline. But you mentioned it, you had just said it, Dave, talking about injuries to the secondary of BYU. Jordan Prater, one of their starters at defensive back, out of the game. That was a backup plan.
Extra point, up, and good. So Memphis gets a turnover just a few plays into this Miami Beach Bowl, and they turn it into a 7-0 lead. Well, the fumble recovery gave Memphis great field position, and the guy who stripped the ball away, Jackson Dillon, a big part of that 7-0 Memphis lead, just a minute plus into this Miami Beach Bowl on a hot South Florida kind of day. Tigers will kick it off for the 2nd time already. This one not going to be a touchback, a high short kick, and Hine with the return gets upended short of the 20. Good coverage from Memphis. Their 3rd-year head coach Justin Fuente has done a remarkable job turning around this program.
He's done a fantastic job. I mean, this program was in the dire straits. I mean, they were struggling, and it's tough to come in and change a culture, but that's exactly what he's done. They've gotten used to winning, and you can tell already in this game they're enthused. They haven't been in a bowl game in a long time. They are ready to play, and that is a lot of the battle when you come to a bowl game. Who wants it more?
So the Cougars offense back on the field, and Stewart with a play fake, pressured, gets away from the initial rush, and he'll just run out of bounds. Well, don't look at the overall record when talking about Memphis and Justin Fuente, because this program was true. Rebuilds are one thing. This was a total rebuild.
Yeah.
And Fuente has gradually but very surely improved this program. 9-3, a chance for 10 wins. They haven't done that since the 1930s. They had not won a conference title before this year in 43 years. There's a nice delivery over the middle. Taron Hauk with the catch for a BYU first down.
That's what BYU is going to have to do to neutralize that front 7 for Memphis. A lot of quick hitting passes, get the ball out of Christian Stewart's hands, and take some of the pressure off an offensive line that has really struggled. They've passed the ball well, but they have not been able to establish the run game at all.
18 yards on that pass completion. So Stewart on 1st and 10 for BYU outside of their own 35. Throws, and he's got Matthews. Did he catch it? Apparently he did. Took him a while to make that ruling. 8 yards if it stands. We'll take another look.
Got it under it.
He did.
BYU's ready to go, too. That's one of the advantages of going up tempo.
2nd and 2 for the Cougars. Already down in this game. The play fake and wide open. Mitch Matthews the catch for another Cougars first down.
I like this game plan right here from Robert Anae, the offensive coordinator. He talked about opening it up a little bit. You saw it in their last game of the season against Cal, where Christian Stewart had 433 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, only 1 interception. But this defense will be even more of a challenge to do it against.
Quick look at the offensive coordinator for the Cougars. So 1st and 10, BYU across midfield for the first time. Another play fake. And Stewart under duress throws wide open. Mitchell Juergens. Touchdown, BYU. "47 yards, and BYU's an extra point away from tying this game." Man, we've got action in the first few minutes.
I like it. BYU opening it up, moving the ball down the field, set it up with a couple underneath passes. Good job by stepping up, too, by Christian Stewart in the pocket. Had some pressure, just avoided it.
So the extra point up and good from Trevor Sampson. BYU ties the game. Well, we're back here, the first ever Miami Beach Bowl, and it is a great setting. We'd be happy to come back and celebrate the 100th birthday of the great town of Miami Beach. We've had no fun there at all getting ready for this game. 7-7. It's been a great first few minutes. 2 big pass plays, one on both sides. And BYU and Memphis are tied at 7. Joe Craig back deep to receive for the Tigers. With the roof open here at Marlins Park, and it's not a high kick. In fact, it's just a little squib kick, and I don't know, that turns into pretty darn good field position for Memphis. Well handled by the Tigers special teams. That seems like it was designed to be something different than that. A good field position for the Tigers, and a nice delivery from Lynch inside the 25, caught by Frazier. So his 2nd reception in a row. Another first down, Memphis.
Well, I thought we'd see a little bit more defense, especially early. The bowl games, usually offenses get a little rusty. The timing, the rhythm is off somewhat, but not the case here this afternoon for either team.
These teams haven't played in 3+ weeks, and you're right, that is always a factor. In these bowl games, now an option style play, and Lynch a very late pitch, but he got it off before he was down, and that turns into a nice game for Sam Kraft. Well, Paxton Lynch, he's 6'7", Danny, and yet he could do that.
Yeah, when you watch him on film, you see him and you see his size. It jumps out at you. And then you see his mobility, and that's the surprising factor. When you see a guy of his height and weight at 6'7", 230, you're not expecting a whole lot, but he's got close to 300 yards rushing on the season. He can do just enough to have to keep you honest.
And that was nicely done. The knee was definitely not down. A handoff, this time to Frazier from that wide receiver spot. Did not get the first down, so it sets up 3rd down. The tackle from Zach Stout. Memphis on the move for the 2nd time in this first quarter. Sprinting right and throwing almost across his body, complete inside the 5 and just short of the goal line, barely.
What a beautiful play call from Memphis. Sprinting out to the right, Paxton Lynch, and then did.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
The ball came loose for sure.
I thought I saw a bobble, but he definitely recovered. That may be, hey, he might have recovered that one in the end zone. I think from this angle. No.
I think he's short.
Yep, I'm with you. Just short. He really doesn't secure the ball until right up against that goal line. And Brandon Hayes, the tailback. Lynch, a rare snap under center, and not handing it to Hayes. It's Lynch on the move. Can he get there? Dives. Lynch got to the pylon. Touchdown. And the offensive fireworks continue here in the first quarter.
We talked about Paxton Lynch, that 6'7" frame. Watch him extend to full length. I think he got clearly a touchdown. Hit the pylon before that right knee hit the ground. That ball has crossed the plane, so that is a touchdown. That will stand up.
Impressive to watch him move. Extra point up and good.
Man, we're off to a fast start, aren't we?
I would say so. Memphis and BYU, two teams that like to hang their hat on defense. It has been all offense from Miami. Yesterday we visited Maximo Gomez Domino Park right here in the middle of Little Havana, a landmark on Calle Ocho. You got the shops, all the great Cuban restaurants, and if you go, you're going to see dominoes being played. Just a part of life in one of the distinct neighborhoods in this great city. We're in South Florida, the first ever Miami Beach Bowl. Dave Fleming, Danny Cannell, Allison Williams, and if you like touchdowns, if you like offense, that's what we've dialed up for you. Hine on the kick return will get right about to the 20-yard line as the Cougars have the ball once again. Now Stewart from the shotgun and another catch. That's the fourth already for Mitch Matthews. Danny, when BYU has the ball, our impact players.
Right on cue.
Yeah.
You see Mitch Matthews, also Jordan Leslie, the other wide receiver. And then from Memphis, we talked about Tank Jakes, the player of the year in the American Conference, defensive player of the year. But Martin Nefetti, also another impact player. He's got 9.5 tackles for a loss. He's a guy that can wreak some havoc, too.
2nd and 2. Stewart throws, and Juergens with the catch in traffic, and then he breaks a tackle. Juergens across midfield, and Mitchell Juergens, a big play receiver already in this one for BYU. That is 33 more yards.
Boy, also a good read by Christian Stewart. The flat defender was underneath the outside guy. You see that defender on the right there that comes into the screen late? He threw it inside, away from that defender, to allow Juergens to catch it and make moves upfield.
Hey, they are going to actually run the ball every once in a while. Algie Brown with the carry, and tough running from Brown for a nice gain on first down. Well, you were just talking about number 10. He is one of the big play impact players on the outside, Mitch Matthews. Danny, he was also involved in a little bit of controversy this week leading into the game. Reported in an interview leading up to the game that his head coach had said Memphis thinks they've got this one in the bag. Memphis says, no, we didn't say that. So the teams are sort of barking at each other. Meanwhile, that Memphis run defense, a huge hit on Paul Lasike, and he goes backwards.
Or Jackson Dillon again. He was the guy that forced that fumble.
But these are two teams, they don't exactly have a lot of history playing football against one another. So there's a way to...
Bowl weeks, you get extra time with the media, you get extra time to interact with the other team, which you normally don't. You do bowl functions. So you start to talk a little bit more.
Brown with the carry, and he powers his way forward for a first down and more inside the 25. Helmet pops off at the end of the play, but that's 7 more yards for Algie Brown. Glad we pumped up the defense at the start of this game.
All right.
Both teams just unimpeded down the field. Memphis with the touchdown lead about halfway through the first quarter. Stewart is going to hit Matthews way behind the line of scrimmage, and he cannot get away from the tackler. He did get back near that line of scrimmage. Ryan Coleman with a nice play in the open field.
And that's what a good defense does. They tackle guys in the open field. That's exactly what you saw number 44 Ryan Coleman do. That's what you're going to have to do in order to stop an attack like BYU. They're going to get players open in space. You have to make those tackles.
Well, Matthews, he was talking before this game. He's got 5 catches already in the first quarter. Stewart in the pocket, throwing deep. Matthews is wide open after the defender fell down, and Matthews, touchdown BYU. Stewart off to a red-hot start, 9 for 9 and 2 touchdown passes, with the extra point coming to tie this game. That was quick phone call.
I love it.
Yeah, that was a good play. Another good drive. Sampson with the extra point up and good. My goodness. Miami Beach Bowl has dialed up the offense here from South Florida. 7-16 still in the first quarter, a 14-14 game. Memphis. Happy holidays, everyone, from the Miami Beach Bowl on a gorgeous South Florida day with the roof open at Marlins Park and big-time offense in the first quarter. We're halfway through the first quarter. Both sides have 2 touchdowns already. BYU, after the pass from Stewart to Mitch Matthews, will kick it off deep. Joe Craig, number 2, back to receive as Bronco Mendenhall looks on. Sampson not going with that strange squib kick this time. Kick taken at about the 11-yard line by Craig. Maybe another pretty good return out to the 30-yard line. Let's take another look at that last touchdown.
Let's watch the Mitch Matthews route. He runs a beautiful route. Watch, he's going to run a post route. Safety here is going to go over the top, but keep an eye on this defender. That's Bobby McCain in the slot. So you've got man coverage there. He's got to beat him, but watch the top. Trips up on his feet, which leaves Matthews wide open. Even if he had covered him, it was still a pretty good throw, but right there at the top of the route, just steps on his toe. A good little shake at the top by Mitch Matthews. Just kind of shook like he was going to the corner and then cut it back to the post.
It could be a real good bowl season for the MAC. Malone on the pitch back. I don't know if he was thinking about throwing it, but he's on the move. Cutting it back to the left side. Malone to the sideline. Kewan Malone. Now back to the middle and finally tripped up inside the 30. Wow.
I don't know if he was supposed to throw it or not, but the design of that play was definitely not to cut it back like he did. Well, he looked really fast right there, didn't he? Kewan Malone, there it is, the cutback late. Here they go, man. Memphis almost a disaster there. Harvey Jackson, number 1, almost stepped in front of one. They tried to go up-tempo and catch BYU. On their heels a little bit.
Jackson was ready for that quick tempo, so Lynch now will take his time back into scoring position here. This is where Memphis was, and much closer to the goal line the last time they had the ball before Lynch fumbled it away. Action-packed first quarter here in Miami. Lynch with the play fake, and he's got his man on the screen. Hayes, the tailback, cuts it ahead near the 20-yard line where it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they do a lot of the quick hitting passes, the power sweeps, little screen passes, power sweep with the quarterback. That was one of the touchdowns they scored with Paxton Lynch. Just a very efficient offense. And when they take their shots down the field, like they did earlier, they can tend to hit those as well. Tough to defend.
3rd and 4 for Lynch and the Tigers. 2.5 minutes to go in quarter number 1. Lynch throwing, end zone, and incomplete. Almost a spectacular catch there by Adrian Henderson. Instead, it's 4th down and likely a field goal try coming up. They have a very reliable kick game, the Tigers do. Their place kicker, Jake Elliott, just a sophomore, but first team all-conference. 2 excellent years to start his career.
Yeah, coming into this game, you might have said field goals would be a great thing. Now, the way this game is unfolded, you might be a little bummed you have to settle for a field goal.
This one will be officially 39 yards for Elliott. His kick is right down the middle. Perfect from Jake Elliott. And so the Tigers regain the lead. Another 30-second break here in the Miami Beach Bowl, 17-14 Memphis. First quarter action of the Miami Beach Bowl, the first ever Miami Beach Bowl, and it's been a heck of a first quarter. 17-14, the Memphis Tigers champions in the American with a 3-point lead after their field goal over BYU. Already a record-setting year for Memphis in terms of offense. New school record, 433 points scored, and it feels like, Danny, several more to come here today.
Yeah, I think that's safe. It's a safe bet.
That's kind of what you were talking about. It's a defensive team. Their defense has sort of been the headliner, but their offense has been very efficient, very productive. Hine had a crease and made it out to the 25-yard line. 5 seconds to go in the first quarter. BYU's defense gets the ball back and an interception. And Stewart threw that one right to the defender, picked off, and the second turnover of this first quarter for the BYU offense. That was Derek Howard, the backup linebacker.
Remember earlier we talked about Christian Stewart reading the flat defender perfectly? That time he didn't. Number 29, Derek Howard, steps right in front of the Stewart pass.
So the interception gives Memphis the ball when we come back to Miami. Well, out in the Atlantic Ocean, a big container ship coming into port. It's the time of year where the cruise ships are lined up too here. I guess that's all year long, but especially around the holidays. It's been a show driving across the causeway to get over to Miami Beach from downtown Miami. You see every day new giant cruise ships coming into port. Part of the scene here in South Florida. The Miami Beach Bowl started the second quarter and looking to pass the ball back, I think, to the quarterback. Instead, nowhere to go. Sam Kraft just goes out of bounds. Well defended by BYU.
Yeah, he had two options to throw, either down the field or back to Lynch at quarterback, and neither one was open. So actually, a lot of times you'll see a receiver, they're dying to throw that football. They want to throw it. They want to try to get that touchdown pass. They'll force it. So that was a pretty smart decision.
It's my only chance.
Yep.
I want to be the hero. But Sam Kraft made the smart play, just a loss of a yard. Good field position for Memphis. The interception on the final play of the first quarter. Now almost like a wide receiver screen, and Malone making more defenders miss. Good balance. He stayed on his feet and got an extra few yards. Number 7, Kewan Malone, has been a dynamic playmaker in this game. Third down for the champs from the American. The Memphis Tigers, co-champions, but they share that conference title. First one for them in more than 40 years of football. Only their second year in the American. Lynch throws, and a nice move by the tight end, Alan Cross, after the catch to make sure he gets the first down.
That's a great move. You talked about it. Just being aware of where you are on the field, knowing where that first down marker is, and having the presence of mind to immediately have that little spin move up the field. If he stays on his path and catches it and falls down, it's not a first down. But he stretched just enough to move those chains.
Well, Alan Cross is definitely a leader on this team. Lynch, the quick hitter on the right side. That's Frazier. And Frazier inside the 15 down to the 12. Another 8 yards for Memphis. Alan Cross, this was early trying to get his teammates fired up. My goodness, Alan. The headbutts.
That's pretty intense right there.
Without the helmet, and yeah, I mean, not a shock. Wow. I would not recommend that.
No.
It was a good tough guy look. Lynch could not get the first down and took a hit at the end of that play.
All we're doing to try to eliminate head-to-head contact. He's out there doing that without a helmet. They're going to have to start to implement a rule for that pretty soon.
Yeah, well, you can see he's not a shy player on the field once the game starts either. He's barking over to that sideline.
He's made some big catches too, some big plays for Memphis.
Good player. I mean, he plays tight end. He'll also split out as a wideout. He'll play like an H-back, almost a fullback. The handoff and a first down inside the 5. Nicely done by Sam Kraft on that fly sweep type of action.
A lot of times they'll say to wait for your blocker to set it up. How about Sam Kraft? Watch him. He actually pushes him out of the way. Look, he's saying, get out of my way. Go. It's a creative way to do it.
First and goal, Memphis. Kraft in motion again. This time Lynch keeps it, and Paxton Lynch, powerful run into the end zone, touchdown. Another turnover by BYU's offense, and for the second time in this game, the Tigers turn it into 6 points. So the interception by Derek Howard set it up, and look, my wish has come true. They're using the home run sculpture after the touchdown. They told me they were only going to do it at the very end of the game, not after a touchdown.
You got to get it going, though, right?
I lobbied as hard as I could, and they listened. The home run sculpture was whirling a few minutes ago as Memphis back into the end zone. Paxton Lynch, their quarterback, and the Memphis offense having their way in this Miami Beach Bowl. Tigers lead. High up above this greater Miami area in South Florida on this holiday week, Miami Beach Bowl, and Memphis making a statement here, 24-14. Their offense has been just about unstoppable in the first half. Still 12:44 to go until halftime. BYU with Hine deep to receive. He'll take a knee for the Cougars touchback. Christian Stewart with the play fake. And he'll hit Jurgens, who gets hit himself.
It's that open field tackling. Memphis does so well. Fritz Etienne comes up immediately. As soon as the receiver caught the ball, he was all over him.
Hometown kid from Miami. There's good Miami presence, Florida presence on this Memphis Tigers team. 2nd and 9 for BYU, and the snap goes way over the head of Stewart, who does scoop it up and somehow throws it away. That might be the best play of the game.
Boy, that is a brilliant play from Christian Stewart. The presence of mind to scoop it up. He was outside the tackle box. All he had to do was get it to the line of scrimmage, which he did. I mean, this ball, he had no chance, right over his head. Karoma, the center, goes right over his head, and here he knows. All I have to do is get it to the line of scrimmage, does it, and saves him about 20 yards of field position.
And they did get a little break. The ball bounced outside the tackle box, so he could just scoop it up and throw it. You have to have those two parts of that play, but you're right, what a play.
A rare mishap from the true freshman center, Karoma, who's had an outstanding year, named to several freshman All-American teams. So a rare mistake from him.
BYU had a very experienced senior center coming back, and Karoma, before the season started in fall camp, beat him out, won the job, and has played just about every snap of every game. Stewart in the pocket. He'll throw, incomplete with contact, and here comes the flag. Intended for Matthews, and Matthews is John.
A lot.
With Andrew Gaines, who had the coverage, the senior from Houston. And Matthews did his talking before the game and during the game.
Pass interference, defense number 28. Automatic first down at the spot of the foul.
And Mitchell Gaines has a different, or excuse me, Mitch Matthews has a significant height advantage. He saw some contact at the top, kind of tough to see.
Nice little pass out of the short flat of the tight end Devin Mahina, turns it into much more into Memphis territory. BYU first down.
Devin Mahina tiptoeing across the sideline. Maybe the left toe is out by the first, but it still probably would have been a first down.
Yeah.
Again, the advantage of going fast. Don't give him time to look at it.
Get that play off. They haven't snapped the ball yet.
See if Christian Stewart sees that corner.
Hand off and a short gain, maybe a yard. Paul Lasike, who is mostly a fullback with all the injuries. Jamal Williams, really a good player. And it was an injury-plagued year for Williams. He is not available in this bowl game, so they're using a bunch of different ball carriers.
It was an injury-plagued year for BYU, period.
Big
they've
time.
had a ton of guys go down, both sides of the football.
He is a dynamic playmaker when he's right. BYU's offense, they definitely miss him. Not just Taysom Hill. Stewart with time throws middle and a catch. Now the ball squirts out. Was Brown down? The official says yes. So we'll take a look just to confirm, but I think he was down.
Well, that ball was in some traffic too, but as C. Brown, they're both knees down.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to see.
That's sort of the definition of Brown causing the fumble. Elbow came down. 3rd and 2. Matthews comes into the backfield. They'll hand it off to Brown, lowering those shoulder pads. Another BYU first down.
Yeah, Algie Brown all of a sudden become the workhorse in short yardage situations for BYU. Picked up a couple 3rd and shorts.
I mean, he's another guy, Danny. I think you would maybe at the start of the year at least call him more of a fullback, but has had to carry some of that load.
Yeah, just through attrition, they've had to have guys be flexible with the positions they play.
Oh, BYU's offense on the move. Stewart. They'll dump it short. Jurgens caught it, and he didn't catch it. He was out of bounds, which is just as good, maybe even better for BYU.
See where he was when he caught it. Really won't matter.
Yeah.
He's out. Might have lost a yard had he caught it.
I think it saved him a yard or two. This is the longest drive, longest possession for either team in this game. More than 4 minutes for the Cougars with the ball. Juergens stays inbounds, catches it, and has a pretty nice gain on second down. Gain of 6 for Mitchell Juergens, a sophomore whose twin brother is a defensive back on this BYU team. 3rd and 4 for the Cougars. Stewart hands the ball off. That was almost like a read option type play, and Memphis stuffs it. He did not get there, maybe got a yard or so.
You might say on 3rd and 4, why are you running it? Well, one of the reasons might have been because they're thinking about going for it on 4th down.
Could be. They do not have the kick game that Memphis does. Their kicker, Trevor Sampson, has been fairly accurate, but they don't attempt long field goals. So they are going for it on 4th and 3. Big play for the BYU offense. Stewart will throw toward the end zone, and Leslie hangs on for the touchdown. That took some guts on 4th and short. Stewart went for it all, and he delivered it. It's a great play, 4th down conversion, and that face from Bronco Mendenhall.
How about Jordan Leslie, though? Watch this catch. Juggling it a hair, but gets it down.
Wow. Great catch, great look. Brent Cohen in the end zone, our camera operator. That was tremendous. BYU punches it in on 4th down. Extra point, up and good. What a first half at the Miami Beach Bowl. Christian Stewart playing like Taysom Hill. BYU down by 3. I would say a success so far. The Miami Beach Bowl, highly entertaining first half. Now the Cougars have to kick from the 20, and it's a short kick because of that penalty. So Memphis is going to really get great field position here all the way to the 45-yard line. Joe Craig, it wasn't a long return, but that penalty has a big impact. Where BYU and a penalty helped extend that drive when they did not convert on 3rd down. They needed it. Lynch throws, and a nice accurate pass, not caught. All right, now that one's not on the quarterback.
Right. Phil Mayhew, big freshman on the outside. That should have been caught.
Got to catch that one, Phil. The true freshman who's been a good player down the stretch. They've got 2 true freshman receivers, Roderick Proctor, Phil Mayhew. They're both exciting players. Memphis thinks they both can be very good. Play fake, Lynch, and it's intercepted. Now there is a flag down on the play. Alani Fua returning it along the sideline, jumping up over tacklers. He did step out of bounds. So it's not a touchdown. He was out of bounds. Now we'll see if it will stand at all, because there was a flag right around the area of the throw.
For pass interference, the ball was tipped before the ball was intercepted. The runner was out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
So
it's huge.
If the ball was tipped, that negates any pass interference, and that's the call. So BYU comes up with a huge play on defense.
Let's see if the ball gets tipped. Watch it leave Paxton Lynch's hand. Yep, right there.
Wow. Was it tipped?
I don't know if it was. Alani Fua was the one who looked like he tipped it to himself, which to me would say that the pass interference wouldn't have stood. I mean, it wasn't tipped at the line of scrimmage. I don't think that was the case. I think it's a little unique right there.
Yeah. Well, and Fua
if that
definitely
was the case, I don't think that should have been pass interference if it wasn't tipped at the line of scrimmage.
He definitely stepped out of bounds. I would like to see that tip again. The play. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was tipped at the line.
It wasn't tipped at the line of scrimmage. It was tipped by Fua, but I mean, he was going to intercept it anyway.
This is a good look. Yeah, definitely not at the line. And
I think that's a huge BYU break. I don't think that should have been pass interference.
Algie Brown, tough running inside the 10, near a first down. So the Cougars have grabbed the momentum of this game. That's a gain of 8. I mean, it was a spectacular play, but obviously that's a huge determination On 2nd and 2, Stewart hands off to Brown. First down. It'll be first and goal. Well, we have Joe Peaster, who is a referee in Conference USA, with us here inside Marlins Park. Joe, what did you think about that last call?
Well, if they saw that the pass was tipped, the crew discussed it and pulled the side judge off of the pass interference. So normally on a touch pass, replay can get involved.
So that's a good point. They could have looked at it with the replay booth. Now Stewart keeping it, and Stewart is not going to get there. But Joe, if the pass was not tipped at the line of scrimmage, in other words, it was Fua who tipped it to himself, can you still make that call of the tip pass negating the penalty?
No, normally that's at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's usually a ball that goes up in the air, and then it's kind of a free-for-all. Guys, you see guys tackle him because they can. But in that case, where Fua tips it to himself, I think that should have been called.
Lasike off the pitch. Paul Lasike. Touchdown, BYU.
Well, what a big turn of events for BYU. They get the call to go their way, and then they finish off the drive with Lasike. Did he get in?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's across easily.
It's a little deceiving that it almost looks like a double line. It's the first line that's the goal line, and then the Miami Beach logo sort of starts a few inches after that. Extra point up and good. Spectacular interception leads to the touchdown. 28-24. That's the lead for BYU. The Memphis defense very uncharacteristic, and especially through the air. They have allowed 28 points and a half coming in, averaging 17 points allowed per game over the full season. So BYU's offense, a lot of success against the tough Memphis Tigers defense. Allison Williams down on the field with Memphis's head coach Justin Fuente.
Thank you very much, Coach Fuente. Your defense gives up an average of just 17 points per game, but 28 scored by BYU in the first half. A lot of that through the air. What do you need to do better against the pass?
Well, they're a good team, first of all. I mean, they're going to score points. They've got two good players and a good scheme. So we got to try and find a way to get some pressure on the quarterback and cover down in the back end.
Offensively, what do you say to address the turnovers?
Well, that's in order for us to win the game, we got to take care of the ball. We take care of the ball, then we'll have a chance. So we've got to do the little things that we've done during the season that have given us a chance to win games.
Coach Fuente, thank you. Dave.
All right, thanks, Allison. So the teams head to the locker room here in South Florida. Beautiful day for the Miami Beach Bowl. BYU leads. Now back to the studio for our halftime report. Happy holidays, everyone. 28-24. That's our halftime score. Tons of offense in the first half of this first ever Miami Beach Bowl. Dave Fleming, Danny Cannell, Allison Williams. Quick start on both sides. 31 points combined in the first quarter. Turnovers, though, became a big issue.
Yeah, got a little bit sloppy in the second quarter, but BYU pulled it back together. Christian Stewart, as he did, coming off one of his best games of the season against Cal, it picked right up in a nice first half.
Kind of a line drive kickoff. Joe Craig had to step into the end zone to take it. Now comes back out. Had a pretty good return to get outside the 25-yard line. Still going out to about the 28. Before the start of this half, Allison Williams talked with Bronco Mendenhall. Allison?
Yeah, Dave, and he told me things started to turn in BYU's favor when they were able to eliminate turnovers. He said giving Memphis, who's a very explosive team, a short field really hurt them and gave the Tigers the momentum. Defensively, they started to play better when they played better assignment-wise. He said they had to figure out a way to get some stops on the perimeters, adjust to the plays that Memphis runs, and then they improved defensively.
So I think that's a pretty good read from Coach Mendenhall on the way the first half unfolded. 28-24. BYU's lead. Memphis with the ball, and Lynch sends the tight end Alan Cross out of the backfield, and a delayed handoff after the pump fake to Brandon Hayes. Not easy to run against this BYU defense.
You know, it's interesting. Both defenses are similar, run a similar scheme, a 3-4 scheme, have really good linebackers who can cover a lot of ground. But turnovers, I think that's going to be the story of the second half. Who can protect the football and put up those points without turning it over?
2nd and 6. Lynch, an option style play, and he will pitch the ball back. Hayes, boy, wild contact right near the BYU sideline. He pops up quickly. Kai Nakua with the tackle to set up 3rd down. Lynch, shoulder fake, a lot of time, and he gets the pass complete. Good throw, good catch for a 1st down into BYU territory. That's Phil Mayhew, the freshman. Lynch swings it out, and the pass complete to Mose Frazier for a short gain. Well, just in case, I don't know whether if you're at home and you're watching us, listening to us, you can hear. But somehow the radio play-by-play broadcast now is being piped into Marlins Park. It's the Memphis call, in case you're curious.
Some of the Memphis fans might recognize those voices. They might prefer them over us.
Yeah, we'll just lay back here now. 3rd and 5. And as the Tigers radio network says, big play for Memphis right here. Lynch pressured and finds Hayes trying to get to that 1st down mark. Got a great block and he'll get there. So that was Lynch making something happen. Hayes and his blocker out in front.
You saw it all started with a step up in the pocket from Paxton Lynch. That's a critical component for a quarterback to learn what to do, to step up in the pocket. Don't panic. Watch right there. Slips underneath. Presence of mind to find his outlet. And then watch the block that Hayes picks up. And that was Phil Mayhew, number 89, the true freshman who just caught the pass before that in the last 3rd down.
So 11-yard gain. That's the 3rd down conversion for Memphis of this drive. Hand off, that fly sweep kind of action on the right side. Sam Kraft knocked out of bounds short of the 1st down, but a positive gain. They give him 7 yards on that 1st down carry. He's an interesting guy. He's a wide receiver and splits out wide most of the time, but he will come into the backfield and actually be a tailback. He has 6 carries in this game. They faked it to him there and handed off straight ahead. Power running. Jarvis Cooper, 1st down.
All of a sudden, Memphis settled back into their offense. I was a little bit surprised before the half. They had plenty of time to run a 2-minute offense, try to put some points on the board. Instead, they go in and make some adjustments.
It's Cooper once again in the backfield, and Kraft motions in with Lynch. They fake it to Kraft. Lynch! More of that athleticism from the big guy. Got stopped short of the goal line, but another nice run, and it will be 1st and goal.
Just to reiterate it, we said it in the 1st half, but Paxton Lynch, he's 6'7", 230 pounds. Man, he's nimble for that size. Doesn't look the prettiest, but man, he's got some quicks. Let's see, does the ball come out?
Well, there was definitely a bobble, but
he's
yeah.
Down. He was down first.
Yeah, he was. So here is 1st and goal, and the Tigers think they got there. No signal.
Yeah,
touchdown, Memphis. Well, Lynch punches it in, and the quarterback had a very nice drive out of the halftime locker room, made a bunch of big plays.
That's a big drive. You always want to see how a team comes out at halftime. How do they execute after getting a chance to talk with the coaches? And Memphis, a nice response coming out. Really balanced drive through the air and on the ground, able to establish that ground game. Lynch with that big frame, able to get it across the goal line.
3rd rushing touchdown of the game for the quarterback, his 13th of the year. There's been a lot of barking, a lot of talking in this game.
Yeah, I think some of the yapping that was going on all week continues to go on.
Memphis regains the lead. Well, Memphis, which controlled a good part of the 1st half, then went into the locker room at halftime trailing. They go the length of the field and score a touchdown. Their quarterback, Paxton Lynch, has 3 rushing touchdowns in this Miami Beach Bowl. So the Tigers back in front, 31-28. 3rd quarter from Marlins Park. Dave Fleming, Danny Cannell, Allison Williams. Adam Hine, the kick return for BYU. More good coverage plus a penalty flag. Jackson Dillon has been a star. Stewart does have time, and he throws. It's intercepted. Bobby McCain with great defense. He read that all the way. The Tigers come up with the turnover.
You remember the touchdown early in the game when a defensive back fell down? Guess who it was? It was Bobby McCain, number 21, who just came up with that interception. That time, same exact route. They ran the post over the middle of the field. That time, Bobby McCain keeps his feet underneath him, reads the route. Christian Stewart seen him looking for the post, and Bobby McCain steps right in front of it. Good to see a player get some redemption after getting beat for a touchdown earlier because he got tripped up.
Yeah, he's had a good year. First team all-conference player. That's his 5th interception of the season. He had 2 of them in their game on the road in Oxford against Ole Miss. But Memphis for the moment has the ball, and Stewart, he's in one piece. I don't know if I could say he's okay, but
yeah, he does look like he's walking around talking to his offensive line, trying to get them fired up, say, hey, give me some time. Been there before.
Everybody on this BYU team talks about his toughness. I mean, he's a guy who worked and worked as the backup without ever getting into games behind Taysom Hill. Here's a throw, and it's complete into BYU territory. Great delivery from Paxton Lynch. And then the catch for Memphis. And Joe Craig with the long gain. His first catch of the Miami Beach Bowl.
Oh, a beautiful throw. We talked about offensive line giving protection. Paxton Lynch all day to throw. Surveys the field, hits Craig right in stride.
42 yards, handoff on first down. Memphis, they do really pick up the tempo when they get a first down like that. That was a big hit from the safety, Harvey Jackson.
This is, you got to, if you're BYU defensively too, you got to step up and try to force a stop. Especially when you've got issues at quarterback, possibly with Stewart.
Lynch play fake, and he's just going to swing it short to his tailback Hayes. Nice move. The defender just fell to the ground, and Hayes gets the first down. You can hear his Memphis teammates, how excited they were. Michael Davis shaking his head.
That was an ankle breaker right there. Watch Hayes sizes him up there. Michael Davis. Like he's on skates on the outside. Really no chance. That's a scary place to be for Davis in the open field trying to tackle Hayes coming at you full speed.
Yeah, that would have been a good slide if third base had been right there. Not quite. Lynch keeps it himself on first down, a short gain. We have had some spectacular moments in this. It's a lot of highlight plays on both sides. Meanwhile, Lynch, the cleat came off.
Play clock is running. They're going to have to hustle up. He should be fine as long as he gets it around 15. So probably looking over for a signal from the sideline, getting a play. Plenty of time. No panic.
Oh. Easy. 10 seconds on that play clock. Second and long. Looking middle. Throws middle. Caught. Touchdown. Alan Cross. And a rough sequence for Michael Davis, the sophomore for BYU. Tie the shoe, get back in there, and deliver a strike.
Paxton Lynch went all day to throw. Alan Cross had a bunch of big catches early. Another one.
Extra point up and good. Well, Lynch has thrown for 2. He's run for 3. Accounted for 5 Memphis touchdowns in this game.
I thought this was going to be trouble for Lynch. He held on to it so long, came back across the middle of the field. That was just a good throw right there. You can see Michael Davis is frustrated, because I thought he could have come over and helped out on that coverage. Once he saw the receiver he was supposed to cover, that area of the field wasn't threatening, he can look back and help that.
So Memphis back up by 10. BYU took a 28-24 lead into the locker room at halftime. It's been all Tigers here in the third quarter with 3:45 to go. Kicking it back to the Cougars. Adam Hine is not fully healthy, but is handling the kickoff return duties. Hine short of the 30-yard line. Well, we've got a ball game heading to quarter number 4 in the first ever Miami Beach Bowl. Memphis 38, BYU 28. Well, I understand the sentiment. All I want for Christmas is a healthy Taysom Hill. I think all of us who love college football and follow it closely would wish for that. And Taysom looking pretty good on the sideline. Yeah. But it has been a year of adversity for BYU, that's for sure. Pressure on Stewart, who throws, and what a catch by the tight end Mahina all the way inside the 10. And in 2 plays, this game has changed dramatically.
Well, we said it earlier about Memphis. You can't get complacent. You can't get comfortable because BYU can strike down the field pretty quickly. 6'6", Devin Mahina just went right over the top of the defender. He threw a little jump ball up high where he can get it. Nobody else can.
So 41 yards. It's first and goal BYU. The interception and the big gain. Stewart sends Mitchell Juergens in motion. Now hands it off to Lasike. Not easy to punch it in against this Memphis front 7. But critical for BYU that they do just that. You're only down 10. A field goal helps, but first and goal, you want to get the 7.
Keep an eye up here. Mitch Matthews, 6'6". Maybe throw it up in the back to him. Nope.
Rolling the other direction and throws it away toward the dugout. Third and goal for Bronco Mendenhall and the Cougars. Memphis's defense, one of the best in the country all year long in the red zone.
Haven't given up 30 points since week 2 versus UCLA. They have been tough to score on. About 4 teams to 10 points or less. A little confusion in the backfield, getting protection lined up.
A very big fourth quarter play in this Miami Beach Bowl. Stewart looking end zone. There's Matthews incomplete, too high, trying for that big red zone target. But it's 4th down, and I would guess that BYU will take the 3 points.
Yeah. Mitch Matthews just circled him earlier, 6'6". You can give him a jump ball just right over the top, a little too much on it. Good coverage, too, by Memphis. Arioye.
So that's a big hold for the Tigers defense. Now the 23-yard field goal try, up and good from Trevor Sampson. So the spectacular interception and then the big play downfield. BYU gets 3 points there within a touchdown. Well, the old Miami Orange Bowl gone, but not forgotten. And one of the cool things about this new ballpark, Danny, is it sits right on the site of the old Orange Bowl. We get to remember, think about the great football history where we stand right now. Low kickoff from BYU, down just a touchdown now. And Joe Craig with the kick return across the 25-yard line. Now flags thrown. The ball also squirted out. BYU saying they have the ball. Oh, we got all kinds of chaos.
Between the legs of a Memphis player, too.
So I think the ball, I think it was a legitimate fumble. The question is, did Memphis fall on it? Now, we just haven't seen any signal in either direction.
The ruling on the field is a fumble by Memphis, recovered by BYU, first down.
Wow. Well, they'll obviously take a look at this. The ball was out, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it was loose. Before it hit the ground, or before his knee hit the ground, that ball was loose. Joe Craig coughs it up. And then there was a Memphis player that was trying to recover between his legs, and BYU just stole it from him. Yeah, that ball's loose.
Now the recovery part of this play, I mean, there you're talking about, looked like Memphis had to get that ball.
Right? I don't know. He's got no chance.
Well, the tight end in motion for BYU's offense. Great field position for a second time in a row. Stewart, though, under pressure, finds his man inside the 10, Lasike. And we just heard from Joe Peaster, and I don't know if everybody could hear Joe. Joe, you want to just reiterate the point you were making?
Yeah, when a player has possession, he needs to control it or hold the ball. Not between the legs would not constitute possession.
Okay, so an important point, and so the ruling was confirmed. Fumble recovery on the kick return by BYU, and now first and goal.
Yeah, can they finish this drive? This is exactly where they stalled before.
Exact same spot. Lasike, tough running. Lasike, touchdown, BYU. And this time they do punch it in. An extra point away from tying this one up with 10:52 to go. Did he make it?
Yeah, he got it. Touchdown. Paul Lasike from Australia.
Ooh, I don't know. Look at that left knee. Now that angle, if we back it up, keep going back. Well, we'll wait. It won't matter.
It's touchdown.
Extra point up and good. Well, who knows? It might not have made a difference anyway, but 2 turnovers have totally changed this game. And BYU from 10 down in the 4th quarter has tied it up.
Paul Lasike from Auckland, New Zealand. His knee was down. Dave, you had the eye for it, but it's too late now. Will not get called. So all of a sudden it is tied up. This game has completely changed.
Dave Fleming, Danny Cannell, Allison Williams back in South Florida. Happy holidays, everyone. We got a heck of a first ever Miami Beach Bowl, a game that has changed dramatically in the last few minutes. Tied up now 38-38, still 10:52 to go. And a return for Memphis across the 30 to the 35. And now a real challenge for the sophomore quarterback Paxton Lynch, who's made a lot of great plays in this game, but has also made some mistakes, and easily Memphis's worst starting field position of the day. And off to Brandon Hayes. Get to that corner, but could not fully get there. Tripped up after a gain of 2. Good play by Kai Nakua, who is a spectacular athlete. They think he has a chance to be a really good player in the secondary. Still very young, still very inexperienced. 2nd and 8 for Memphis.
Memphis can tie number 40.
And an interception. They were trying for the tight end. It's a BYU touchdown. Zach Stewart with the pick 6. And now the comeback means BYU is out in front. Remarkable what has happened in these last few minutes. We're talking about 5 minutes of game action, and this bowl game has turned around completely. That look sort of says it all for Memphis.
We talked about halftime adjustments. We'd seen Memphis hit their tight end down the middle of the field, Alan Cross, number 40, several times. That time BYU was all over it.
Extra point from Trevor Sampson. Amazing. BYU with a defensive touchdown has gone ahead.
Watch the tight end right down the middle of the field, but watch the 2 linebackers in the middle of your screen. They're going to step out, but then they've seen this before, and you see number 47, Zach Stewart, steps right in front of it. He's seen it already. They've been beat by it for a big gain. He says, I'm not going to let it happen again. And Paxton Lynch, as the quarterback, you've got to go through your progression. It was there before. It wasn't this time. Get on to your next guy. Hit the outlet, but you can't turn it over here in the red zone and throw the pick 6.
Well, I mean, we're talking about a quarterback. He has had a great year. He had not thrown an interception if you count the downtime before the bowl game, in 2 months.
Yeah. Now he's got it. You know, it's hey, every quarterback goes through it. I've thrown plenty of pick 6s. Trust me. You just got to shake it off. You got to come out there and go through your progressions. Get back to work. You're going to get a chance right away. Still a lot of time left. Plenty of time to swing that momentum back in your favor.
This is now the most points that Memphis has allowed all year long. One of the best scoring defenses in the country. Another bobble from Craig, the kick returner, who's already fumbled one of the fourth quarter. That turns into a pretty good return, though, out to the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 Tigers. They needed that first down badly. Lynch pressured and completes the pass to the tight end Montiel, who takes a pop but hangs on to the ball inside BYU territory. Gain of 6.
Paxton Lynch has to keep find that rhythm that he had earlier in this game. Try to get that confidence back. Trust his offense.
Lynch again in the pocket. He's got room to run if he wants to, and he will run, get the first down.
All he's got to do is keep making smart decisions with the football, like that one. Earlier hit his outlet. That time he saw the open field to run to.
What a fourth quarter. BYU was dominated in the 3rd. They have turned it around in the 4th. Handoff to the power back, big Jarvis Cooper, a freshman, 250 pounds for a short gain. Memphis has plenty of time. The timeouts, they have all of their timeouts. Nearing the 2-minute mark. Lynch, play fake, screen pass, a little high, and the great tackle right away on Kewan Malone. 3rd down.
I feel like Memphis has got a little bit conservative from a play calling standpoint, trying to protect Paxton Lynch. He had a couple turnovers. They're getting a little bit more cautious, throwing more screens underneath stuff. Now, you've got to trust him. You've got to say, hey, it's 3rd and 7. We've got to get the first down.
Definitely now it's 4-down territory. Here comes some pressure. Lynch throws and incomplete. And you just wonder, the throw is a little far, and then the hit was coming, and Frazier could not quite stretch out.
It would have been a great throw and catch. You see Frazier lays out. Pretty good job by the safety coming over to distract enough. Lynch put it there.
Well, the game's not over if they don't convert here, but they are going for it as they have to. 4th and 7. 5-man rush. Lynch hit as he throws. It is caught with the coverage there somehow. Malone came down with the catch. First down, Memphis.
Boy, Paxton Lynch got absolutely drilled right after he threw the football. Just knew he had to make a play down the field, had to push the ball vertically, and Malone comes up with a huge catch and conversion. What a play.
It's not quite 1st and goal. 1:19 to go. The handoff. That's Kraft. Sam Kraft shoved out of bounds at the 9.
How about Paxton Lynch? He's been having to go through some adversity right here. He takes a lick right as he throws it. And then he's got to love it. He didn't even see it. He was on the ground, throws it up for grabs, and basically Malone just takes it away from the defender. Sky Pove for BYU.
That was 4th down. Now it's 2nd and 8. Memphis down by a touchdown. 1:11 to go. Lynch faked a QB run, backpedaling, throws it away.
Well, that was the old play action to yourself. Sort of fake the quarterback sweep. He was trying to get low. He's 6'7". He's got a big frame. He's trying to hide his body. And now you've got 3rd and 8 for Paxton Lynch. And BYU has been able to get pressure on him. And he's been able to throw under duress.
Still no 3rd down conversions in the 4th quarter. They do have the 4th down conversion.
I'd like to see Paxton Lynch on a run pass option. Get him to the outside. Let him run the football a little bit.
3rd and 8. Lynch is going to run straight ahead. Lynch doesn't get there.
See, I like the run pass option. That was a straight quarterback draw where he's keeping it on the ground the entire time.
Now Memphis is going to use a timeout, which in essence means they got to get this. With only 2 timeouts, if they give the ball back, even with those 2 timeouts, it comes down to this play. Well, Memphis has been such a good front running team. They were up 10 heading into the fourth quarter here today in Miami. They're down 7 with 55 seconds to go, and it's 4th down.
The other player is number 40, Alan Cross, their tight end. He's in the game. He's been able to make some big plays on critical 3rd downs.
Well, so much for being totally organized. There was a little confusion out of the timeout. There is the tight end. Lynch looking to throw on 4th down. Scrambling. Still looking. Still scrambling. Lynch throws it up. And it's caught! Touchdown! Keywan Malone! Well, let's take another look. An incredible play.
Paxton Lynch, watch him directing traffic. He's pointing around, looking for anywhere to throw the football. I'm not even sure he was throwing that to Malone. I think he was throwing to number 40, the guy we mentioned, the back of the end zone, and Malone just came across and caught it.
I think he was.
And he's pointing to there. He's looking at number 40. And he might have got it to him if he wouldn't have got there.
I think you're right. He was trying to hit his tight end, and Keywan Malone came all the way across and said, I want this one.
What an unbelievable play.
An extra point up and good. Man, the tremendous play by Paxton Lynch on 4th down. An 8-second scramble in and out of the pocket to buy time and finally find Keywan Malone for what proves to be the game-tying score. And now Memphis will kick it off to BYU. Well, I don't know if that's a squib kick or not, but it's a good one if it is. Hine bobbles the ball at the 5 and really has nowhere to go. Hine is going to be tackled inside the 10. Well, now Memphis can use their timeouts and put some pressure on the BYU offense. Who knows?
About Dave, if they hadn't saved some of their timeouts, they could be working the middle of the field. A lot of more things are open right here.
Yeah, I still don't get it. Now we've had some snap problems too. You got to be careful with that, BYU. This part of the field. Stewart heaving it deep, going for Leslie. It's incomplete.
Boy, Jordan Leslie's absolutely gassed. He wasn't expecting that ball to come his way. Now he's going to get to go over to the sideline and take a break.
It's not only that it's been hot, Danny, but this up-tempo offense, you ask your receivers just to run and run and run all game. At the end of the game, some fatigue. 24 seconds on the clock. Stewart buying time himself. Now he's going to run. Those seconds so precious. He does get out of bounds, but only 16 seconds left. You still got a long way to go to get into field goal range. I mean, and they don't have great long range field goal kicking. You're talking about what, 45 yards or so to get into field goal range. It's also 3rd down. And they're going to hand the ball off. So Brown with the carry. Brown.
Now they've got the 1st down. It'll be interesting to see if they keep trying or they just take it to overtime.
I mean, maybe you heave one up and
they got timeout called, so maybe they try the the rugby style play. Start pitching around. That gets a little dangerous though. You trust in your guys not to turn it over.
Stewart has thrown for 348 yards. Backup, the former walk-on Taysom Hill, out with the injury, and Stewart has become, in a lot of ways, the story of this BYU season. So the play fake, another play fake, and Stewart is going deep for Leslie. Leslie is there. It's incomplete. Man, he was on the ball. It was knocked down, and that is how regulation will end The first Miami Beach Bowl is going to overtime.
He had him open. I'm
him.
shocked that he was able to get behind the Memphis defense. Wow, if he leads him across the field, too, he might have been able to run under it. Look, if he leads him to the right side of the field, and that was a heave. He threw that a long way in the air, too.
Just an awesome Miami Beach Bowl, 45-45, going to overtime. There's the trophy. That's what's on the line. Seems like even a little more is on the line.
Yeah.
I like that trophy, though.
It's a good-looking trophy.
To come up with a brand new trophy for a brand new bowl.
Boy, now, I mean, these teams have been trading blows back and forth, back and forth. Everybody's been able to respond. Now it's BYU's turn. Christian Stewart had a heck of a game at quarterback. Looking to cap his career off with an overtime win.
So here we go. Stewart, play fake. Pressured. Stewart wisely got rid of it. Throws it away.
As he gets hit yet again, he's knocked over again. And all of a sudden, the pressure has picked up, too. The defensive front sevens have been getting more pressure. The offensive line are getting a little bit worn down for both sides, for both teams. And most of the plays being made by these quarterbacks, a lot of them are improvised.
2nd and 10. Handoff. Lasike got a couple of yards. Now,
you got to feel, too, that Memphis has the edge in the kicking game, too. If this does become a field goal kicking contest,
big time.
Then Memphis has that edge there because BYU has struggled.
Well, Trevor Sampson, there's the Memphis place kicker, Jake Elliott. So Trevor Sampson, his long for his career is 41 yards. So you're talking about a field goal right now if BYU had to kick of about the career long distance of Trevor Sampson. Stewart pressured. Lobs one up. It is caught. Well, I don't know. They say incomplete. My goodness, what an effort by Jordan Leslie, who had it pinned against his shoulder pad for what would have been an all-time catch. And the ball touched the turf.
Well, I thought he wrestled it away for a second. Bakari Oye is running stride for stride. Safety's coming over the top, too. He's got it on his shoulder pad.
Man.
I don't know. Right there at the very, very end. What an effort, though, from Jordan Leslie.
Wow.
Man.
Well, they say not firm control. This would be the career long. 45 yards for Sampson. The hold, the kick on the way, and it is good. Wow. Well, they said it was his range.
And it was his range right there. Wow.
So BYU with 3 points at least.
See how much room he had to work with. A little bit, a little yard, maybe. Plenty of breathing room.
Well, you know, you watch that and you do think that it was a long while ago in this game, but Memphis attempted a 53-yard kick that was almost perfect and hit the crossbar. And that 3 points ultimately, I mean, you never know how the game would have played out, but could be the reason why this game went to overtime. Now Memphis has the ball. Down by 3. Lynch is hit. The ball's loose, and the Tigers do come up with it. Daniel Montiel with the recovery. Bronson Kafusi with the strip sack.
Bronson Kafusi, 14.5 sacks on his career. Watch him. Lynch starts to scramble, does not sense the pressure behind him. Kafusi gets that right hand on it, strips it loose, and luckily for Memphis, they're still alive. But you talk about field position again, it becomes so important.
Now they have the kicker with the big range. 9-yard loss, though. Now they hand it off, and they might lose some more. Brandon Hayes staying on his feet, and he will take a pop. The Tigers are going backwards. They lose 3 more on that play. And Jake Elliott better get loose.
They got to get to the 32-yard line. So they're going to need positive yards here.
And they need 5 yards or so just to set up what they figure would be a long field
Of
goal.
course, you'd love to have a little bit extra breathing room, too.
I mean, I think they have big range. Lynch pressured again. Incomplete. This will be a long field goal try, but this is within the realm of possibility for Jake Elliott.
He hit the crossbar on a 53. If he hits the exact same kick, it goes in. Different. I think that there's not much wind, but at the little bit of wind there is, I think he's kicking into right now, which could be a difference.
So here we go. 52 yards to keep the game going and get us into double overtime. And I say 52. They're going to spot it. This is a 55-yard kick. Here goes. Snap, hold, kick, on the way. Does it have enough? It does! From 55, Jake Elliott ties the game and sends it to double overtime. Wow.
That is so big time from Jake Elliott. That would have cleared from 60. I mean, that was a bomb.
Maybe 65.
Oh, he absolutely crushed this. The 53-yard attempt hit the crossbar. There was no doubt about this one. Oh, you want a confident kicker? Yeah, he knew it all the way. Oh, you gotta love it.
That is pretty studly from the sophomore Jake Elliott with the game, with the season on the line. That's first.
Now Memphis offense, they struggled the last series of downs. Jake Elliott was able to bail them out.
Second overtime begins. Lynch throws. Incomplete. Looking for Kewan Malone. But Rob Daniel with the pass breakup.
Rob Daniel playing in place of an injured Jordan Prater. Got beat early in the game. First touchdown drive of the game. He got beat for a touchdown there. Great defensive play with the pass breakup.
2nd and 10. Lynch. That one is caught by Malone. Nice catch. Lynch had to hang in there again. He's short, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they gave him the first down, so they gave him a good spot. Now Hayes very quickly. Memphis wasn't wasting any time.
The advantage of going up tempo.
Yep.
Sometimes you can catch the officials, get a play off. They don't get a chance to review it. Still waiting for number 40, Alan Cross, to make a play. That big tight end.
Wipe the blood away from his face. Lynch on the move. Kind of a long throw. Caught. Touchdown. Roderick Proctor.
Well, we have gone down the depth chart for Memphis. So many different receivers have pitched in, made great catches. We've seen Craig, Frazier, Malone. Now it's Proctor, the freshman. And he's down with it.
Yeah, I think he did keep that forearm under the ball. So this should be a little more routine for Jake Elliott than 55 to tie and keep the game going. Extra point, up and good. My goodness.
Here we go. BYU's chance again. They got to respond. They've done it all game long. Can they do it again? And Memphis, their defense is what they built this turnaround on. Can they come up with another stop? I shouldn't say another stop. They need a stop. They haven't had many this game.
Christian Stewart said his goal in his senior year behind Taysom Hill was to throw 1 touchdown pass. He's thrown 3 here in the Miami Beach Bowl. He's thrown 25 on the season in these last 8 games.
I was looking for 1 or 2 more.
Yeah, and they know they have to get to the end zone. They cannot try a field goal. Double overtime. Handoff. Lasike just nowhere to go. Stuffed by Tank Jakes. And we have not talked a lot about Jakes, who is a conference defensive player of the year. It's been a relatively quiet bowl game for him, but a big play there. Second and 9 for Stewart and BYU. Good time to throw over the middle. Intercepted. It's over. The Memphis Tigers get their 10th win of the year, and now we've got a fight on the field. It was an emotionally charged game. We had lots of talking, pushing, and shoving, and now
they're going to need more bodies in there to get these players separated.
Yeah, I mean, this is ugly. Ugly. All right, that's dangerous. That Memphis kid is in there almost all alone. No matter who's at fault.
You got to get the players off the field as soon as you can.
I mean, a spectacular game, a great game, and an ugly ending. And Mike, now, come on, you can't do that. Wow.
You got to get the players off the field. I know you want to celebrate the ball, but you got to get your players off the field at this point.
Well, a horrible ending to what was a tremendous game. I mean, you can understand to a certain degree how emotionally charged this game was. And there were a lot of...
It was chippy the entire game. They were chirping back and forth. Memphis, when they won the game, they went over directly to BYU's sideline, started celebrating right in their face. But you have got to get their players off the field. Here's one look. Christian Stewart trying to find the back of the end zone. Just overthrows his intended target. And then watch, you see the celebration start from Memphis. Now you got, that's just ugly. And what you said it best, Dave. I mean, it's been a great game on the field, and then it just turns into a melee.
Well, Allison Williams down on the field in the middle of what now is a calmer scene here at Marlins Park.
Certainly, as Coach Fuente, it was a battle throughout. Emotions were certainly high. What's your reaction to how things played out and the fight at the end of the game?
Well, I mean, that's not who we are. And I'm upset. I hope it doesn't take away from an unbelievable football game. But there'll be a lesson taught. I don't know exactly everything that happened, but you know, we've got to learn how to handle success too and act the right way. And so I don't know really what happened, but I don't want us to be involved in that kind of stuff.
What did you see from your point of view at the end?
The last play of the game or at the
after the game ended?
Nothing. I was just trying to pull people back.
Let's get back to football and your quarterback, Paxton Lynch. How was he able to overcome throwing those 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter?
Well, everybody struggled today. I mean, on both sides of the ball. We're playing a good football team. You know, so we made plenty of mistakes. They forced plenty of mistakes and made a lot of plays on defense and offense for BYU. But he just kept battling, kind of like the team. They just keep fighting through. And it wasn't very pretty, but they found a way to get it done.
Coach, thank you for the time. Congratulations. Guys.
All right, Allison, thanks. And I do hope that it doesn't take away from what was a spectacular game. Memphis in double overtime, its first 10-win year since 1938. For Danny Cannell, Allison Williams, Dave Fleming saying so long from South Florida. Yeah, the tears of joy, of pain. What a day. Memphis gets the win.